God spoke to a man named Jonah and gave him one job. Go to Nineveh, the most wicked city on earth. Tell them they have 40 days before I destroy everything. One job. Jonah heard God clearly, and he ran the opposite direction. Nineveh was the capital of the Assyrian Empire, the most violent civilization the ancient world had ever seen. They skinned people alive. They stacked heads into pyramids outside city walls. Every nation feared them. God wanted Jonah to walk in there alone. So Jonah ran. He found a ship heading the opposite direction, paid the fare, went below deck, and fell asleep. The sleep of a man trying to disappear. The moment that ship hit open water, God sent a storm. Waves the size of buildings, wind tearing sails apart. The ship cracking like it was being crushed in a fist. The sailors were veterans, but this storm felt personal, like the ocean was angry at someone specific. Every man prayed to every god they knew. They threw cargo overboard. Nothing worked. The captain found Jonah asleep below deck. He grabbed him. "How can you sleep? Get up and pray." They cast lots to find who caused this. Every lot pointed to Jonah. "Who are you? What have you done?" Jonah told the truth. "I worship the God who made the sea, and I am running from him." "Throw me in," Jonah said. "This storm is my fault. It only stops if I go in." They tried rowing to shore. The waves pushed them back. The ship started breaking. They had no choice. They threw him overboard. The instant he hit the water, the storm stopped. Flat, silent. The sailors stood staring at a calm ocean where a hurricane had been 3 seconds ago. Jonah was sinking, dark water pulling him down, light shrinking above him, lungs burning, seaweed wrapping around his head. Then something came from below, a shadow, massive. A mouth opened. Everything went dark. He was inside a fish, alive. Darkness, the stench of bile and rotting fish. Walls pulsing around him. A heartbeat echoing through the creature's body. 3 days and 3 nights in a living tomb at the bottom of the ocean. On the first day, he fought. On the second, the fight left him. On the third, he prayed. "I called out to the Lord from the belly of death, and he heard me." God spoke to the fish. It vomited Jonah onto dry land, covered in bile, seaweed in his hair, half dead, face down in the sand, sun on his back for the first time in 3 days. God spoke again, same words, "Go to Nineveh." This time, Jonah went. He walked into the largest city in the world, a city so massive it took 3 days to cross. One man, reeking of fish guts, walking into the most dangerous place on earth. He delivered the shortest sermon in history. 40 days, Nineveh will be destroyed. No explanation, no mercy offered. He didn't want them to repent. He wanted them to burn. But they listened immediately. From the poorest beggar to the richest noble, they stopped everything. Sackcloth, ashes, no food, no water. The entire city shut down. The king stood from his throne, removed his robes, his crown, his rings, put on sackcloth and sat in ashes. He issued a decree. Everyone must pray. Everyone must turn from violence. Maybe God will change his mind. The most powerful man in the world sitting in dirt, wearing rags, begging for mercy from a God he just learned about from a man who smelled like the inside of a fish. God saw them turn from their evil, and he relented. He did not destroy Nineveh. This is where the story should end, but something ugly happened. Jonah was furious. He sat on a hill outside the city and threw a tantrum. "I knew it. That's why I ran, because I knew you were gracious and compassionate. I knew you would forgive them, and I didn't want you to." Jonah didn't run because he was scared. He ran because he knew God was merciful, and he didn't think Nineveh deserved it. He wanted them dead. He said, "Kill me now. I'd rather die than watch you forgive them." God asked one question: "Is it right for you to be angry?" Jonah didn't answer. He sat on the hill pouting, hoping God would destroy the city anyway. God grew a vine over his head, cool shade. In the desert heat, it was the best thing that happened to Jonah in weeks. First time in the whole story he was actually happy over a plant. Next morning, God sent a worm. It killed the vine. Then a scorching wind. The sun blazed on Jonah's head. He wanted to die again. God said, "You're upset about a vine you didn't grow? A plant that lasted one day? But you don't think I should care about Nineveh? A city with 120,000 people I created?" The book ends right there. No resolution, no response. God asks a question, and the silence that follows is the whole point. Because it wasn't just for Jonah. It's for every person who decided someone doesn't deserve forgiveness. Every person who wanted justice for their enemies and mercy for themselves. Jonah ran, and God chased him with a storm. Jonah sank, and God sent a fish. Jonah preached with zero effort, and God moved a city to its knees. Jonah wanted people dead, and God grew him a vine to teach him about love. At every point, God is chasing Jonah, not to punish him, to teach him, the same way he chases every person who runs. You cannot go so far that God won't follow. You cannot sink so deep that he won't reach you.